Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Sharon Cullen Art. Today is a gorgeous, sunny, beautiful day. If you can see behind me, I don't know if you can. There, it's a gorgeous day. We have a 30% chance of rain today. It probably would come in the afternoon, but the biplane has just flown over this morning to get rid of our gypsy moth issue, and these leaves are about as thick as I'm going to see them because the gypsy moths are eating so much. I don't know if you guys can see this. Look at all these bits of leaves. They're just falling. All these little bits are all green leaves that have all been chewed up and spit out. There are so many gypsy moths. There are so many gypsy moths that our trees are probably going to end up pretty bare this summer, which is really a bummer because we needed to have spray last summer and they didn't catch it in time. You got to catch them right as they're hatching. The caterpillars are hatching, and my brand new bushes, my burning bushes, are covered with black eggs. It's really gross. I got to spray some neem oil on them today to try to kill them. But once they become caterpillars, they chew up on the leaves, and the spray, which is it's a bioethical. It's a thing that bothers caterpillars, but it is not poisonous, so it won't hurt birds or any other animal because it comes from the earth. It only bothers the digestive systems of caterpillars, and they will end up eating the leaves and then they die, so they don't turn into gypsy moths where they can produce more eggs and in the next season. But in the meantime, they're going to eat up all the leaves on the trees, and we're probably going to end up with a pretty bare forest this summer, which really is upsetting. See, I've got to go in. I just moved my hand because I felt something funny, and it's a gypsy moth caterpillar. They're like everywhere. They're crawling all over me. They're dropping from the trees, and it's just awful. This is just a baby one. Ugh, they're just hatching. I hate this. We have to go through this like every 20 years or so. The thing that concerns me, and I'm worried about it, is I don't know how this affects other butterflies. God, there's another one on me. Ah, God darn it. Look at that. This one's a bigger one. Oh, they're everywhere. I got to go in. Okay, this is driving me. I do not like bugs crawling on me, especially all over me like this. They're probably in my hair. Oh, okay. I got to go. Oh, the mail just came. Anyway, I wanted to tell you that I just looked it up. They will kill all butterflies, including monarchs, which is probably why our nature center and 4 people in my township had opted out of having theirs sprayed, which makes it harder to control because that means they'll come back. But the good thing about it is they spray real early because gypsy moths are the first caterpillars in Michigan to hatch. And butterfly caterpillars are not even laying their eggs yet. They wait for milkweed to come up and all of that, like monarchs, butterfly weed, milkweed, before they will go ahead and lay their eggs for their cocoons. So we don't have that issue as much. I'm sorry, it is so loud on our street today. We don't have that problem as much here because this stuff will be gone before we have the hatch of the butterflies, which makes it good because I would hate to kill swallowtails or monarchs or anything. We only want to kill the gypsy moths because they will deplete an entire forest. Yours were just bare, like the trees looked dead. There was not a leaf on them, and it stresses them really bad. And if it happens like 2 years in a row, it can kill your forest. So we had to do something about it. I know some of you are going to be upset by hearing that, but we had to. We had to. And then they flew over at 6:15. It scared the crap out of me. I thought there was an incoming plane going to crash into my house. They fly just above the treetops. What I'm going to be doing today, as you can see by the title, is that I'm going to be doing a quick sketchbook run through. This sketchbook originally was supposed to just be Sounds like the biplane's out again. was originally supposed to just be for gouache, but I ended up throwing some watercolor in there as well. So we'll just get right down to it. I am outside. Okay, I'm going to try to keep this still, but I'm balancing this between my legs. So we'll go ahead and do this flip through. I already did it once, but things didn't turn out bright enough. But the one thing I wanted to say first of all is that I always start my book by putting the start date in. I started November 6th, 2020. I finished it May 28th, 2021. But I was working out of multiple sketchbooks as well. This sketchbook was originally intended to be, I'm covering up my phone number here, I'm sorry, was originally intended to be for gouache only, but I did end up putting some watercolor in it. There's a few. But this was a thumbnail for my first sketch, which I was not happy with. I thought that it turned out a little bit too bright, but you're going to see these, and some of them look good, some of them look not so good. So this was, I believe, from a class that I did with Nathan Folks. And I forget where he's from. He has his own website that he does classes from. But this is I did 2 value studies. This was one of them that I did. Didn't turn out super great, but then I did this one as well. And I was just fooling around with my gouache and did these. These were value sketches that were part of my class with Nathan Folks. I was supposed to do like 7 of them. I just stopped at 2. Then I did these, and these I was not happy with at all. I had been having a couple awful days. I don't know if you saw that previously, but there I had put down that what a super bad day. My heart is breaking in a way I never thought it could. But I was having a lot of horrible painting days because my emotions were all over the place. And sometimes when that happens, or when my pain level gets up, you can see my work kind of go down the tubes. So these, I was not happy with at first. But now looking back at them, I don't think they turned out as bad as I had thought they looked in the beginning. But then I did these 2 sketches, 2 fall sketches here. It was still fall, but really our leaves were already off the trees by that point. Then this was from a photo that I had taken at the end of our road. Excuse me. I had noticed that the Michigan winterberry bushes were already making their red berries. And it looks so pretty because the leaves are all gone, the color is all gone, and then these bushes leave these bright red berries all over them for the birds to eat through the winter. Now this one, my colors were a little bit too vibrant. I needed to tone them down a bit. And I'm not sure what kind of gouache I was using here, but it could have been that I changed the gouache. You can see from here where my colors are more muted to over here. They're super bright. I think I changed brands and I wasn't used to it, but I'm not sure. This one I think I did a video on. This was a fantasy landscape that I just kind of did in my head. And this was following a photo reference from Sarah Burns. And I think the same with this one. These are of Scotland. And I liked how these turned out. I was working on dry brush technique with gouache, which if you're trying to learn dry brush technique, it's really good with gouache to do because you're using less water to begin with than you would be with watercolor. So this I had no photo reference for. I was just painting and having fun. This was a little bird that I saw, and I decided to paint a fluffy bird in gouache, which I normally paint birds in watercolor, so that was something new. And then this tree, I was just goofing around. They were nothing big. Then I was working on water. I occasionally will focus on this because if I don't keep up with it, I kind of forget what I need to do. And I'll do a video on it sometime if you want me to. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like a video on how I paint my water. I can show you. When I look at it closely, it doesn't look like water. You know, when you paint it yourself, you see your strokes and you remember every little detail. And when I look at it through my camera at a distance, I think, oh, that looks like water. But when I look at it in my sketchbook, I don't think so. It's funny how that screws with your head. Do you guys ever feel that way? I don't know. Okay, and then this one was a puddle that I painted. It was raining and the raindrops were looking so pretty. Then this is a watercolor that I did, which did not turn out well at all in my humble opinion. This was also, is that watercolor? Yeah, this is watercolor. No, that's gouache. This was gouache. I painted this from my studio. I'm sorry for the wiggling, you guys. I don't have access to my regular camera equipment. It's out in my studio, and I can't walk over there because of the grass seed being planted. But anyway, that was a winter scene that I did in January. Then this was the next day, and I was in my studio a little later in the afternoon. Sundown for us in Michigan in the middle of winter is very early. It's around 4:30ish. So this was probably done around 4 p.m. when the sunset was happening. And our sun wraps around to this angle. So in the summer, I can't see a sunset from there. It's like way down around over here. This is at the southwest point. And during the summer, we're at the west. So this was something I was doing, just playing around with color in a forest. And I used brighter blue greens and then purples for the trees. So if you get up close, you can really see the purples. And, you know, if you're ever having trouble with dry brushing, here, this is something that I did. I went back later because I didn't like the way this had turned out. And I took a white pencil, white colored pencil, just Prismacolor pencil. And I used that on the trees to paint the light on. And it looks like dry brushing, see? When you get real close. So that's something that you can do with your gouache, and it will help it out. This one, I really love the way this turned out. I like this painting, and unfortunately, my brother-in-law wants it. I want to keep it for myself. I think I might try painting it again, and I'll probably make prints too, because a lot of people wanted to purchase this, and I don't like to tear up my sketchbooks. Then I had been working on night skies quite a bit. I have another painting that is framed from a local barn right around the corner from me that is framed, and I think I'm hanging it in my basement. It might be in my studio still. But this was another one. It was a photo reference that I did, and I like doing the full moon. I just took the barn and I changed every other detail. I made it a night sky. Added the shadowing, all of that, because the original photo, I wish I had it to show you, was totally different. This was just a plant, this plant in particular, but it was sitting on a different table. We've changed our tables in here. I got to pick up because my cleaning ladies are coming. This was something that was totally screwed up. I was never going to show it to anybody. Perspective was off. It was really bad. But see, that kind of stuff happens to me too. And then this was a tea cart in my corner that I painted. It was my great-grandmother's. This was a photo reference. I love the way the tree was bending over. And I think I used this for a video. It says here, quick gouache painting for a YouTube video. Haven't posted in a month. Yikes. Okay, and then this was another one that I had done, I believe. No, I just posted this on Instagram. That's what that was from. I was wanting green very, very badly, and we were only into March, so nothing is green here until middle to end of May. So this was one I was not happy with the way it turned out, but people seem to like it. I don't know. I didn't. It's funny how you think something's bad and somebody else loves it. So this one, I actually liked a little more how it turned out, and people didn't like it. So it just happens. And the photo reference for this was exactly, it turned out pretty much exact. This was a sunny, warm day, about 68 degrees for us in March, which is very unseasonable. And Diesel and I sat outside. I sat on the back deck while he laid in the sunshine. And then my crocuses were blooming, so I sketched a couple of those. This I had no photo reference for. Sorry, my watch is beeping. I had no photo reference for that. So, and this next one is a ruined painting I never finished. I got to the ugly stage and I gave up. So it's still sitting there. I don't like it. This was a photo reference in watercolor. I wanted to do some close-up of the ground. And so I did this. Now, I'm not sure if I did a video on this or not. I can't remember. But it was fun to do. And I used a lot of hematite genuine in this, so you can really see how the how it kind of makes the bark look like real bark. It's cool. This next one was another one that did not turn out well for me, so I never posted it. And I never posted this one either. Some magnolia that I was working on. I had done another magnolia painting, so I figured one was enough, and I did not post the other. I just love painting magnolia, and getting my new magnolia tree really made it nice too. Excuse me. I'm coughing a lot because I haven't been on antibiotics in a while. This is from a class that I did with Felix Scheinberger on Domestica on curved perspective. So I just did that in my sketchbook. Actually, was that Domestica? I think it was Domestica, yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe it was YouTube. No, one of the two. I can't remember. It was recent, though. And then this was from a screenshot that I took of a YouTube video I was watching out in, like, Northwest Washington State. And I changed the scene quite a bit, but I thought it was pretty. And I was trying to do something with watercolor, but I was sketching too quickly. All this was supposed to be distant mountains, and then the close-up. I needed to change the color and do the perspective differently, but I was not in a painting mood. I was in a lot of pain, so it just kind of turned to crap. This is another one I did when things were really starting to bloom outside. This was my driveway, and this is the gravel on my driveway and looking down the hill at some of the trees. Now, I took some liberties adding a little more green in the background than we really had, but I just needed some green. And this was May 17th. So a week later, everything did turn green. This got spills on it, so it looks really bad, but this was a sketch for a class that I was doing on Domestica with Lapin, one of my favorite urban sketchers. I love the way he sketches. He uses a lot of speech bubbles and stuff, so he says to add them into your work, and that's what I did here. Gosh, I feel like I'm having trouble focusing this. I'm sorry, you guys. And I just turned the light down. There we go. This says, just thought I'd drop by. It was a fly that had landed on my sketching while I was doing it. This was just nothing. I had splatters, so I splattered some more, and then I just kind of turned it into a sketch to use up the page. This one I really like how it turned out. This one was done in watercolor as well, and I did post this on Instagram as well, but I loved how the trees came out. I loved how the light worked. Did I just say this was done in watercolor? It was done in watercolor, except for adding these little bits of grass here and there. The real lightly colored ones were done with gouache. That was it. Everything else is watercolor. And don't be afraid to mix your media up. You can put gouache and watercolor together. More and more people are doing that nowadays. You may not be able to do it in a juried show, but you can definitely do it in your sketchbooks, and if you want to have fun. Now, these were some more recent sketches I had done of lavender that I had just bought for my garden. This dying plant that is sitting right over there. This one. And my harp that was sitting in front of me. I was in a lot of pain, and I've been sketching in a recliner, so my sketches were not looking the best. This was also for my Lapin class, and I did this hand sketch of my own hand. It was like this while I was writing, And so I sketched it, and I did it in under 2 minutes, I believe. So it was a quick sketch. For me, I was pretty proud at that. My thumb was getting messed up, a little too skinny in here, but for 2-minute sketch, and I don't do hands often enough to be good at it, so I was happy with it. And then, oh, here we go.
I'm reminding you, call Dad.
Hang on.
I'm reminding you, call Dad.
Okay, then this was my new micro portable painter palette that I had just shown you in my previous video, and I had sketched it and put it in there the same day that I did the video. And then my last sketch here is of 3 objects in my room that I sketched for my lip pen class. And that is basically it. As you can see, my little Alexa right there is the one that just spoke to me. And then that plant is the plant that's up there by my television. And then the water bottle is across the room where you can't see it. But anyway, that's it. That's it for my sketchbook. Sorry for the shakiness. I can't get to my studio right now because, as you can see, I don't have grass yet, but all the seed is planted. So I can't be walking all over the yard, and my walkway doesn't go all the way through. The problem is that my one of my couches is being delivered today, and I think they're going to have to walk through my garden in order to take my couch over to my walkout. They can't drive the truck over there, so they're either going to have to carry it that whole way or go through my back deck and through my door wall, but that's going to be kind of awkward. I don't know. They're supposed to be here any time, so we'll see. I'm not sure when they're going to be here. But the thing that really bothered me, we ordered this furniture back after Christmas. It might have been right after New Year. And we ordered a custom couch, sectional couch for my living room upstairs with custom fabric and custom pillows and all that stuff. We knew that was going to take a long time because it's being custom made and with COVID and all blah, blah, blah. So we ordered a couple of recliners for our basement, which are upstairs right now in my living room because I don't have furniture there that's comfortable to sit on. And we ordered another couch for our basement. Well, the recliners were in, and then they said the rest would be in about 7 months. I thought, oh, great. Well, the other couch for my basement is standard. It was not a custom fabric or anything. It was just one of their standard medium-end couches, not a high-end, highly firm couch that I have for my living room that's going to get a lot of traffic. So Pat called the other day just to check on it and see where we're standing with all of that. And they said, well, one of them's in, but the other one we're still waiting on. That might be another couple of months. And I thought, have you got to be kidding me? That couch has been sitting there all that time and we could have used it. They said, well, we thought you'd want them all delivered together. Really? When you're waiting 8 months for furniture, you think we want to wait all 8 months for all the pieces? For goodness sakes, they just wanted to save on a delivery fee. That's what it was. So they're delivering it today. But I still have a couple months to wait on my other one, and we got bad news on my hot tub that's another month delayed, which will probably be 2 months delayed. So now we're looking at July for that. And if I end up having surgery, then I'm not going to be able to get in it. So that sucks too. But other than that, my life is just terrific, you guys. Gosh, there's so much traffic going down the street. Anyway, you guys, remember, be courageous, paint with wild abandon, and most of all, be kind to each other. And don't be afraid to sketch in your sketchbooks. Make a mess, make mistakes. That's what they're there for. They're for you and you alone to see your own progress. And if you end up with a gorgeous one, set it out on a coffee table if you want. But otherwise, you just tuck it away and you can look back at it. But have a great day, you guys. God bless you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.